Thank you for joining the A-Team in our comprehensive review of Dollar General and its supply chain management. Like similar variety stores such as Walmart, Fred's, and Family Dollar, Dollar General depends heavily on its supply chain processes to readily, accurately, and efficiently supply its retail outlets with merchandise. We will discuss how Dollar General has improved its supply chain operations as the company has grown to become a leader in its industry. We will begin with Maisha Clemens, who will discuss the background and company history. Sade Ward Daniels will discuss the change assessment made by Dollar General management. Matt Dick will discuss the change process, and Chris Piper will discuss the benefits. We'll go now to Maisha.
Thank you, Heather, for the introduction. We begin with a brief history of Dollar General. In 1939, with a $10,000 investment, J.L. Turner and Cal Turner Sr. opened the doors to J.L. Turner & Son Wholesale in Scottsville, Kentucky. It was not until 1955 that the Turner's department store was converted into the first Dollar General. As the name suggests, every item in the store was priced at $1 or less, and due to the success of this concept, other stores under the company's umbrella was soon converted to Dollar General stores as well. The official name change occurs in 1968, and the Dollar General Corporation is born. A great milestone for Dollar General occurs in 1976 when the company exceeds $100 million in annual sales. In the years that follow, Dollar General continues to grow, and most notable expansions include the 1983 purchase of 280 stores from the company now known as the Heritage Home Group, as well as the acquisition of 206 stores and a warehouse from Eagle Family Discount Stores in 1985. Only 4 years later, in 1989, as Dollar General celebrates its 50th anniversary, they have an astounding 1,300 stores and over 7,000 employees. Dollar General's growth and presence did not go unnoticed. In 1999, Forbes 500 recognizes Dollar General for the first time. The Dollar General Market was opened in 2009 with a concept similar to Walmart. The market sells everything a Dollar General store sells, plus groceries including fresh produce. Today, Dollar General has over 11,500 stores with revenues above $16 billion. Dollar General was once referred to as the Macy's of Scottsville because it was said you can get anything from Macy's. Likewise, Dollar General carries a vast selection of products in categories such as cleaning, health, beauty, food, apparel, and household products. They offer name brand products such as Kool-Aid, Purex, Tide, Clorox, Folgers, and Kellogg's. Dollar General also carries many generic brand merchandise as well. DG brand is the Dollar General brand for inexpensive household products sold throughout the Dollar General stores and markets. A tool that DG makes excellent use of is the Dollar General website. The website displays sales ads, offer coupons, product information, easy meal preparation, store location assistance, and company information. Dollar General has definitely positioned itself to be a contender in the marketplace for years to come. To talk about their strategic operations, I turn to my colleague Sade.
Thank you, Maisha. So as Maisha mentioned, Dollar General positioned itself to be very successful in the market. So why did Dollar General change its supply chain? The change in its supply chain was mainly credited to the growth in the company. Growth was definitely a good thing for the company, being that Dollar General was expanding rapidly at a rate of 600 plus stores a year. But growth also meant more resources were needed. And at the rate Dollar General was growing, resources were needed fast. The growth created a strong need for new distribution centers in order to service the many new stores and to hire, train, and retain employees to staff new and existing centers. In 1999, the growing company faced several management challenges. At the time, the distribution centers were receiving a C+ in overall performance from corporate. All distribution centers face similar challenges like attendance, accuracy of inventory procedures, time for unloading of inbound merchandise, timely and accurate delivery of undamaged products, safety, cleanliness, cost containment, and overall productivity. As you can imagine, these challenges caused the distribution center's network to be ineffective, inaccurate, costly, and the sanitation was terrible. Unfortunately, there was also a lot of silo management taking place in the supply chain, causing confusion and less coordination. When Dollar General opened a new distribution center, each of which contained an employee base of 500 or more, the distribution center employees usually only had 8 to 10 weeks to become knowledgeable at regularly and accurately servicing 600 to 700 retail stores. In addition to other management challenges taking place, these circumstances often created problems with high stress, turnover, and accuracy. These issues further impacted cleanliness and safety as people rushed to meet deadlines. Growth meant more wealth for the company, but a change in management of the supply chain network was definitely needed. I will now turn the presentation over to my colleague Matt to discuss performance management and how Dollar General changed its supply chain.
After understanding several of the issues that Dollar General faced, the company decided that it needed to make some changes. The key to these changes was performance management, which was developed by Dr. Aubrey C. Daniels. Basically, it requires that each step of the process be specific and systematic in order to remain effective. The new VP of Logistics summarized it as planning and providing the right types of consequences for the behaviors you want more of or the behaviors you want less of. This can be reflected in the ABC model, which you see to your right. The first step that Dollar General took to begin making the changes necessary in its supply chain operations was hiring a new Vice President of Logistics, Jeff Sims. He had had a proven track record at Hills Department Stores and had employed a behavior-based methodology. He began at Dollar General with designing a performance management model and started out by explaining to each of the distribution center managers what exactly performance management was. Next, he solicited a volunteer to be a test subject or guinea pig for the initial implementation. Jeff then hired a behavioral consultant to begin assessing the functions within the operations. As I mentioned, Sims hired a behavioral consultant who began by interviewing various employees regarding their job tasks and operations. They discussed actual work content and work requirements communications, as well as the desired results of those communications. The consultant was able to make eye-opening observations about management behavior and best practices. Essentially, he found that those performing the work revealed the best ways of actually performing or doing the work. Employees also provided valuable feedback with respect to roadblocks that they encountered, suggestions to overcoming those roadblocks, and the necessary functional responsibility for the various tasks. The consultant then studied and analyzed the operational data to determine which areas required the most intervention or were most pressing, where the most value could be received by actually intervening and making necessary changes. The analysis revealed or identified unique issues of culture, systems, processes, and structures that supported and impeded performance. Additionally, it revealed inconsistencies between individuals with the same jobs and management. Ultimately, the consultant was able to formulate the goal of operational consistency, which could be bolstered by the discovery and installation or implementation of best practices. Essentially, evolution, not revolution. Next, the consultant and SIMS trained every manager and supervisor on the specifics of the Dollar General performance management model. And after several weeks, they followed back up with those managers and supervisors to provide feedback and additional support. Now that Sims and his behavioral consultant had developed a performance management model for Dollar General, it was time to implement this and integrate it into the supply chain operations. Based on the results, they were able to develop a systematic process for achieving results through behavior management. And this was a change from previous assessments that were results only oriented to now focusing both on behavior and results. And some of the criteria included attendance, load quality, sanitation, and productivity, just to name a few. Part of this was also the understanding and emphasis that you had to reinforce those who reinforce others. Essentially, it was not enough simply for the supervisors to reinforce these processes and practices to the employees and actual laborers, but the managers needed to reinforce it to the supervisors, and the vice presidents and other executives needed to reinforce to the managers. This kept it alive, active, fun, and generated a want-to service environment. And essentially, a new motto was born. We strive to make work simple, smart, and fun.
The following are examples of the many results achieved via the performance management process at Dollar General's 8 distribution centers over the past 7 years. Successful startup of a Midwestern DC network improvement in sanitation, above standard inventory location accuracy, eliminated a wall-to-wall year-end inventory, significantly reduced accidents and workman comp claims, dramatic reduction of employee turnover, increased carton per man-hour performance, reduced 1 day out of the shipping cycle, cost per carton at 10% below plan, reduced hourly employee turnover, increased the quality of outbound loads throughout the distribution network. In 2000, the cartons per man-hour were 39.7. In 2003, after the project, it rose to 42.1. The accident cost was nearly cut in half and saved the company $1.5 million approximately. The net inventory accuracy rose from 98.7 to 99.9%, and the employee turnover went from 46% turnover rate to 2003, it was only a 32% turnover rate. So as you can see, there were some clear benefits achieved from the performance management process at Dollar General's supply chain management improvement project.
Through its performance management system, Dollar General has created a platform for continually improving performance and maintaining growth. We appreciate you joining us. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you.